In 1918, remains were found on the moon that resembled the skull of none other than a Sasquatch. You look at the skull and it's almost immediately you tell, judging from other Sasquatch skulls that have been found, that Sasquatch lives on the moon and came from the moon.
I remember it as if it was yesterday. I was out in the woods, camping, just myself, hunting for moose. And I seen one moving in the bushes. So I line up my scope, I take a shot. This bullet bounced off this moose like it was the Incredible Hulk or something. And then it turned around and made eye contact with me.
I was 6 years old and I was sleeping. It was it must have been like 2 in the morning. It was very early.
We were approached by at least 2 Sasquatch, and it was my first incident of hearing them vocalize and hearing one. There was like 3 giant guttural whoops, very low end, very pronounced, almost English. I remember thinking at the time, sounds like he could speak English, and just filled the forest, and just a massive sound. You could hear the lung capacity, and that just changed my life.
It must have been like 2 in the morning. It was very early, and I heard noises coming from my parents' bedroom.
I was so scared. This thing started running and charging at me. I, too, was also running away. It grabbed me by the back of my shirt, threw me up against a tree, looked at me, and said,
You've all heard this story, a little kid, he hears, his parents having sex, and then, he goes to investigate and he's scarred for life, but it wasn't my dad.
When this started, getting a photograph of a Sasquatch would be the ultimate, wildlife photograph. Things have developed and progressed since then, into a much different motive and understanding. I've been involved in this for about 6 years now, up to this point. The last couple years I've been involved in this situation. I had come into contact with somebody at the start of this who had taken me into an area of activity.
We tell you about now. They brought in the time concept here, which was interesting. It's always now, only now, Nefertia says. Then is now. Then and then and then is now. We make image then and then and then is all now. It's like when they have an image and then it comes back to appear again in a subsequent photo. It's because the then and the then and the then, it's all those nows are right now. I don't know. Different dimension to your people. All the same, all one to our people. We make images, as you call it, in the all one. It's like there's no dimension for them. The dimension is really a hairless human word and concept, pretty much. He went on to say, when we make image, we are in all places, as you call it. I got the feeling that the reason they're blurry, some of the photos that have been captured, was because so many of the dimensions, as we call it, are blending together. So we're getting, a number of images all in one image, if that makes sense.
Now, despite the fact that no Sasquatch remains have ever been found, and despite the fact that almost all the evidence of Sasquatch has been proven to some degree to at least be doubtful in its presentation and its authenticity, it's definitely more likely that instead of Sasquatch not existing, Sasquatch is instead a teleporting, multidimensional creature that is beyond human comprehension.
We've had images appear on the camera as we're sitting at the table. The camera's right there within arm's reach, and you see I'm constantly checking it, looking for images. And every once in a while it's like, oh, there's another one. So at this point, we're now receiving images of the forest. There's always a strange lighting that goes with it. You know, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning. Forest is lit up like daytime, or there's just a strange light, this bright light. You know, it's not sun, and no flash. So the flash isn't going off, but it's lit up like daytime. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 in the morning, whatever it is. Then there's always this mesh that's showing up. We're at a point where I'm starting to think that that's a veil between dimensions.
We just couldn't handle seeing everything that comes out at nighttime. So the other beings and the other creatures are comfortable to come out at nighttime. In other words, with the present level of consciousness of most of our hairless human people, it's best to remain in a state of like partial blindness, really, because total sight would be shocking to most of us. If we really saw everything that is around us, and I'll use our limited word, dimension, if we saw all that, we would just, I mean, it's too much. That's why I guess they're helping us to raise our consciousness so that then we can see more and experience more. We'll be able to handle it when we have been reconciled, or when we reconcile ourselves with the All One. And that's what bringing the light into the heart and then shining the light, seeing the All One, is all about. He went on to say, the light your people see in the photo is the light where we are and where your people are coming to. It is the same as the light in your heart. When there is light, there is no time, as you call it. The place, as you call it, is the light of the All One. It is the place of now. Your people cannot come to the place of light, the place of seeing and being light, until they see and hear and be with their heart. Then they will be in the light with the All One. We tell you of the heart many, many times. Your people are the All One, but they have forgotten. They are now remembering, and our people are helping them. Your people must be in the light before they can see the light. All for now.
There was an instance where we're down front of the cottage at the end of last winter. The snow's gone, and we're looking for marbles we might have missed. And I see this rock. It's about this size, kind of thing. And I used to work in the granite industry, so I picked it up. It had some quartzite through it, and it had this red dot kind of thing on it, which I distinguished in my mind, right? So I take a look at it and I place it back on the road. And a couple minutes later, I walked into the cottage and I opened up my camera bag. There's that rock sitting on top of my camera. It's been just continuous throughout 2 years that, when I state that Sasquatch choose to leave their footprints in snow, I know that is fact. This isn't speculation. I've seen enough. And then there's also other people that I've spoken with that have similar situations going on.
He said, what you are saying is when you speak of time, as you call it, you see the curtain, as you call it, because you cannot see the All One.
Many people have seen UFOs and then also saw double Bigfoot. Even 2 times one night, you could see even 3 stars, 4-star sky, and all of a sudden, big Bigfoot day. And then what? Fuck, man. I work so hard. I know everyone thinks I'm crazy. Everyone thinks I'm batshit. Everyone thinks, oh, he's crazy, talking with Sasquatch. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not crazy. I'm sorry I'm raising my voice. I'm sorry if this is clipping on the tape. Just when you put so many years, effort, you put 1 foot forward, you try and put your foot in the door, everyone calls you a fucking nutty. I'm not nutty.